It's time to go balls deep.
The EA Sports College Football Headquarters Podcast. Hey, everybody, it's Anthony Scafacci. I'm back with Alan Gigax for another episode of Balls Deep. And before we get going today, I just want to say, hey, Al, how you been doing, man?
Dude, I am, it's Christmas time and I work at the post office.
Yeah, so have you been, are you already getting parcels or what?
I have been stuffing my packages into people's boxes like crazy.
Yeah, like only you can.
Yes, exactly.
All right, well,
Okay.
I'm hoping I can come to Alan for our segment, Just the Tip, which we've been debuting, and we have a new sponsor for Just the Tip. It is going to be Beef Curtains Deli, the juiciest and tangiest roast beef in Revere. Come in today. Alan, what's the tip?
All right, here's the tip. When you recruit athletes in Dynasty, you get to the offseason and eventually you get to position changes, and then the athletes disappear. Well, I'm here to tell you where to find those athletes. So if you go to the screen that has your entire roster on it, that just shows all your players, you can sort by position. And when you press square, at least on PlayStation, you press square, I think it is, to sort by that column, then it puts the quarterbacks at the top. The athletes are all the way at the bottom. So if you press square again, that brings your athletes to the top, and now you can see whatever athletes you have recruited, and you can change their positions right from there. It makes the whole process much easier.
All right, thank you, and thank you to Beef Curtains Deli. Okay, Al. So today we are going to take another stab at catching lightning in a bottle. We did this episode once. We had a lot of fun doing it, and since
with
that
Blaze
day,
and Lakey the first time.
Yeah, and since that day, I've been thinking about doing it again because I really, really enjoy going through the creative process and doing it live on the airs. It's kind of nerve wracking. It makes my balls kind of come up into my chest a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
Yeah, so I hope we don't fuck it up, but we're going to give it a try. We're going back to the well where we got Blaze and Lakey from.
Right.
And so let's go ahead. Let's go through the list as quickly as we can. And who are we going to pick today, Al?
All right, so there are a few names to choose from. Most of them, we haven't refreshed this list, so some of them are from previous ones. We had Robin Banks, which I know we had talked about. We had considered, obviously, him being a bank robber. No, it's too direct. But we thought about maybe his sister is Tyra Banks, and people want to get...
Tyra Banks is like 50 now, though, dude.
Well, yeah, but you
she
wouldn't
probably
do it?
still got some big fucking jugs.
I bet she does. Yeah, I bet she does. And I bet you now they need like more support. You know,
maybe.
you got to hold them up.
Yeah.
I'd apply for that job.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a possibility. We've got Alfonso Bird, who's a wide receiver, 6'4".
Did we get anything new?
No, because we never re-established our call. But I know we didn't get all the way down the list last time because once we saw Blaze and Lakey,
that was enough.
That was enough. Yeah, we're like, all right, that's our guy. Again from last time, I just love the name, Contrary Pruster.
Yeah.
But still too hard to pronounce.
Yep,
we can't do that. Okay, and then we have Barricade, defensive coordinator from Pennsylvania.
I do like that one.
I like that one too, Barricade.
Yeah.
And so we'll probably do that. We also have Ty Peckinpah from our friend Ty Scott. And this was not a familiar name the first time we went through this, but now I know that was Ty, who is our second most downloaded episode of all time.
He brings the fire,
He does bring the fire, and he brought the listeners. And so I'm tempted to do that one just to fuck with him, maybe.
Yeah,
and,
well, maybe we'll keep that in our...
keep that one in reserve. Because I think this one, I really think we should go with Barricade.
Okay.
Who is sent to us courtesy of Mike Ware.
Mike Ware. Thank you, Mike Ware. Mike.
All right, so Barricade, defensive coordinator, Pennsylvania, 5'10", 260 pounds. So he's a big fella.
Yeah, dude.
Beefy.
So this is kind of what I got.
Okay.
All right. So we got Barricade, right?
Well, yeah. So that's it, right? That's the first clever bit of it is that the name is a play on the word barricade.
So he probably coaches offense, right?
I would think he coaches defense because it's a barricade, like a barrier that you can't get past.
You could be onto something. So
and It says on here defensive coordinator.
Oh, well, that is
So,
a
yeah,
good. That's
so
a
we kinda
pretty
have
good
to
hint.
go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife says I misses the obvious too, so maybe she's
Maybe
not
she's onto
wrong.
something, yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So here's what I got.
All right.
All right. So this guy, where's he from?
Pennsylvania.
Okay. So Pennsylvania, man.
Yeah.
So all right.
Well, it says here, notice it doesn't say where specifically in Pennsylvania, or maybe he thinks that college, like he goes to Penn.
dude, we're going like Philadelphia, bro. This guy's from Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so
Oh,
Barricade, when he was in high school, dude, he was like,
Barry.
yeah,
Because he wasn't Barricade
Yeah, no,
yet.
no, but
Right.
Barry, when he was in high school,
Yep.
he was like an inside linebacker, maybe like played some D end every once in a while.
Okay.
Right? He was a defensive guy.
A run stopper.
Yeah, run stopping kind of defensive power guy.
All right.
But also, he got really, really big into lifting and became kind of like a power lifter.
Right.
Right? So this motherfucker was like strong. And like they say on
Yeah.
the game,
Country
he's country strong. Yeah. Right? Yeah, he's not
Right.
just strong. Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so this guy, right, he's like power lifter. And, you know, he doesn't get a lot of looks out of high school to play college ball, right?
Right.
And so, but dude, you know, he's got a passion for football.
Sure.
But he ends up as like a delivery driver for like
Hey,
Staples.
it's a perfectly respectable
it's
profession.
very honorable, but it's not that it's not what he dreamed
Yeah, it's not
of,
where his passion
right?
is. Right.
But he's, you know, he's still big into lifting, right?
Okay.
And so he can lift, you know, heavy
Yeah,
boxes.
lifting those boxes.
Right? Yeah,
You said,
so,
where did you say he worked?
like Staples.
Staples.
Yeah, right?
Dude, that dude could deliver a whole desk by himself.
Yeah, this guy, right?
Yeah, he was the MVP at Staples.
Yeah, it turns out he's kind of like the machine, you know, he can
Yeah,
just do
he's
it.
like
right?
a forklift.
Okay, so anyway, so this guy, right, he's real big into it, and he's also into powerlifting. And there's one day where he's at work at Staples,
Okay.
right, and he's delivering, or you know, he's in there and he's helping load up the truck, and one of the guys is like, "Bro, I bet you can push that forklift." Right, and
Push the forklift.
yeah, right. And he's like, dude, forklifts are really fucking heavy, but you know,
Yeah.
this guy, he's got an ego, he's got some pride.
Okay.
So, dude, he goes and he tries to push this forklift. Now, forklifts, dude, if you've ever tried to lift one, it's not easy.
Lift a forklift.
Yeah.
Dude, those things are like 10,000 pounds.
Right. So he goes and he starts trying to push it, and he pushes so fucking hard
Yeah.
that he gets like a hernia, but actually it's not like a hernia. It's like literally his balls, right?
Okay.
Because he lifts with his balls like any true man does.
Sure,
Right?
of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
yeah.
the fuck
And
that
that's
back
the first
shit.
thing they
Yeah, you
teach
gotta lift with your balls, right?
At Staples, when you're going through their power lift class, it's the first thing.
Yeah.
Like they're for like first put the brace on.
Yep, yeah,
and
lift
then
with your balls.
Lift with your balls.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's trying really hard, and like one of his testicles actually tears in half, right?
Okay.
And so now, functionally, he's got 3.
3 balls.
3, right?
Dude, that's more than Tupac
Yeah.
and Hitler combined.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's got 3 balls, right? But they have to fix it. So they kind of, what they do is they got to make his ball sack a little bit bigger. So they do like a graft, like a skin graft, right off of his leg, right, to give him a little extra sack, right?
I was thinking maybe put it on the taint or something, you know, that extra little bit of sack,
Yeah,
but it's
you
all the
know-
way down on his leg.
I'm okay if they use a little of the gooch,
Okay,
right? But they,
yeah.
whatever. They get some extra
Okay.
skin, okay?
Yeah, sure.
That's the important part
Yeah,
here. Is they
like
get,
off of his elbow.
it kind of looks like a ball
Yeah,
sack. That's right.
exactly, yeah.
Everybody go look at your elbow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does. You know what?
Hey, but don't do it too long or you're playing with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so they give him enough extra sack here to fit this now 3rd testicle.
Okay.
Right? Because it's going to grow a little. You know what I mean? Like it's going to heal.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
But here's the problem, right? When he sits down to deliver, now he starts sitting kind of on his balls.
Oh,
Right?
sure. The extra sack not ideally placed.
Right. And so
Yeah.
this is where Barry's life turns.
Okay.
He becomes a professional wrestler.
Okay, dude, and I've got how, because I was going the same direction as you, because
Okay.
it sounds like a wrestler's name. And at Staples, I was thinking that the turn happens when he is tasked with delivering a whole truckload of folding chairs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And of course, where does he have to deliver the folding chairs?
To the
wrestling-
Spectrum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the Philadelphia Spectrum.
Yeah, because
right?
people are going to be hitting each other with these folding. Like he
Right.
gets in there, he's like, dude, this arena already is all full of chairs. What do you
Okay.
need all these folding chairs for?
So he becomes a wrestler, right? And so
Okay.
now he's like in
Well,
his
no, I want to
Yeah.
dig into this little, like, where it happens. Because he goes into the Spectrum. He's carrying a bunch of chairs. Like, because he's big and strong, he's got like 6 chairs under each arm.
Sure.
And he goes waddling into the place. And one of the promoters sees him.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, you look pretty good with those folding chairs.
How
would you like a job?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he leaves his job at Staples.
Yep.
Right. And he becomes a full-time professional wrestler.
Right.
Okay.
But on like low-level circuits to start out.
It's like the indies, right? So he becomes a professional wrestler. But, dude, his passion is still football.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
He just sees this as like a way to make money or whatever and get by. And
Until he can get back into football.
Until he get back into football, right? So
Yeah.
he goes and he's this professional wrestler. And, dude, as luck would have it, years later, right, there's another injury.
Just sounds lucky.
Yeah,
that
right?
sounds very lucky.
Yeah, well, I mean, fates turn on a dime here.
Okay.
For lightning in a bottle. And sometimes in the most mysterious way.
Yeah.
So he's wrestling again. Right?
Okay.
And when he becomes a wrestler, he becomes Barricade.
Yeah, of course. Right. Barricade. Yeah,
that's
his persona.
Yeah, that's his persona.
Heel or face?
Oh, this guy's a heel all the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Barricade. There's no redeeming qualities with this guy.
Okay.
Right. He's a mean heel and hits people with folding chairs, and he uses like his finishing move that he calls like the plow or something. Like that,
All right.
Right.
The forklift.
Yeah, the
forklift.
Oh, maybe he uses the forklift, right?
Or the ball terror.
Yeah, right. The testicle destroyer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But he gets injured again.
Okay.
Right. That too many concussions, too many injuries, and he's like, dude, I can't keep this up.
All right.
I can't do this. And he wants something easier. And so, of course, what's easier than being a professional wrestler?
Almost anything.
Defensive coordinator.
Ah, there we go.
Right?
Okay, all right.
And so now, right, he's got to go become a defensive coordinator because, dude, his body's not keeping up. And so he thinks, well, you know what? I'm a good talker.
Yeah,
play
sure.
football.
Dude, and he had to do like the promos,
Sure,
cut promos
right?
for the wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, so he got confident. He's got some charisma. Some riz, as
Yep,
they
for
say,
sure. He's got the
right?
riz, yeah.
Right?
He's
And-
not skibbity or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
skibbity toilet.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And so now, right, as the fallback, because that's what everybody's fallback is in any good story,
Okay.
is get into college football. Right.
Okay.
So-
well, any story that we're gonna do.
Yeah, any story
absolutely.
we're telling. Yeah, that's where they're
Sure,
going. Right.
Yeah.
So he becomes a defensive coordinator, but you know what, dude? He doesn't have a ton of experience, right? So he's gonna
Right, just
have
played
to
some
go
high school ball.
to some real shithole school with like no, no chance, right?
Okay.
Somebody that would be willing to hire this former professional wrestler who's very popular locally, by the way. 'Cause
Okay.
he wrestles a lot in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. So maybe like Temple.
Temple.
Ah, look at that.
Right?
He's an owl.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so he's gonna go to Temple, right?
All right.
And the team is in bad shape, and
Right.
they got they get no love. No, there ain't a
Right.
lot of Temple fans out there, right? And so there's this groundswell of support for Barricade.
Because originally, like, he took whatever job, like he was going to be like assistant linebackers coach.
Sure, right?
But he's got this following.
Yeah.
And the following wants him to be the defense.
Sure, he's like that third string quarterback for the Giants, like Tommy DeVito.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly, right.
It's
People just
the
pull
fan
for
pick,
him.
right?
Right.
Yeah. And so, as luck would have it,
Yeah, they're like, well, what do we got to lose?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Temple's terrible, dude. They never
Right.
win, right?
Yeah, at least maybe this will bring in some donations.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
What-
Brock Lesnar will give us a donation.
He can
or
help sell
something.
tickets to come see
Yeah,
Barricade,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And so now,
All right, no.
go ahead.
Okay, so if they're going to do this, they've got to make it pay in the sense that they want his wrestling fans to follow him
Sure.
into this. And so he's not defensive coordinator Barry Cade. He's defensive coordinator Barricade.
Yeah, and
The persona.
he wears his wrestling gear
singlet.
on the sideline.
Yeah, exactly. He wears
Yeah.
his singlet on the
Yeah.
sideline, sometimes with earmuffs on
Yeah,
if
and
it's too
maybe he
cold.
would
Yeah.
always have a hard hat on, right? And like
Oh,
a
yeah, 'cause
safety vest.
Barricade would
Yeah,
be like a
right?
construction.
Yeah, he looks like a construction
like a
guy,
road
but
worker or whatever.
but not the the YMCA guy. He's not gay. not saying that that's wrong, but that's
Right,
not
right.
him, right?
No.
And so this guy, Barricade, they hire him, and coaches and defensive coordinators and stuff like that, man, right? They gotta talk to the media, right? And so they're like, this guy, he's gonna be our guy. He's gonna be like the face to the media because he can talk.
You're right. Of course, he's good. Dude, if you're gonna put somebody on the mic, you're gonna put this dude, former professional wrestler, Barricade.
Yeah, and so when he talks to the media, though, it turns out the only way he really knows how to talk is in wrestling promos.
This is what he's used to. All right, so how would something like that go? Like the media comes on, like they get Mean Gene Oakland up there to interview him.
Well, Mean Gene's dead. You got to get
Gorilla Monsoon.
He's also dead.
Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a wrestling guy. It could be like
it's
their local media.
Local news.
Yeah, the local media guy who, of
Tom
course,
Storm from Channel 6,
and is completely unprepared for what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So Tom Storm would be like, "Hey, coach, how do you think this next week's game against Rice is gonna go?"
Rice.
Oh God.
You tell me Rice is coming to the Spectrum to play Barricade and the Owls?
Yeah, coach.
Well, let me tell you something.
It's actually going to be in the stadium, but yeah.
Yeah, well, when they come to Owl Stadium or whatever the hell it's called these days, they got something waiting for them. They got the Barricade. And when I get a hold of them, I'm gonna smash their heads like a fucking watermelon until I can take a shit down their neck. And then, the
thanks, coach.
Yeah,
the reporter, Tom Storm or whatever.
Yeah, would just like look at him shocked, and then,
but dude, the fans, all the people who watch, they eat it up. Yeah, dude, they love it.
Big.
This is the biggest fan support that Temple's gotten since I don't know, whatever. Yeah, ever.
And the team. Dude, the team's into it, right?
Because, it's fun.
Yeah, this guy's fun, right?
Yeah.
And so, so this guy, he would just only speak in, promos, and, he would, do things on the sideline, throw salt in the opponent's eyes, right? This guy, he just can't break that, heel persona and that he's known for. And maybe when he's on the sidelines, he would just always have a folding chair with him just in case,
just in case, yeah. Oh my God, dude, that's good.
He could do things like that. Get this, right? Okay. So, let's say he's there and the team rapidly improves because they got toughness now.
Yeah, he's whipping them into shape.
They got some swagger, right?
Yeah, and dude, it gives ample opportunity to bring in special guests.
Oh yeah,
know,
and so, but they're gonna make it to the conference championship game in his first season right there.
Great.
Right? Yeah, which I don't even know what damn conference.
I think they're in the ACC
or
AAC, maybe the All-American. Yeah, I'm not sure.
And when they get there, right, he can't get out of this mentality.
Yeah,
right?
It's who he is now.
And so he starts.
It's taking him over.
Yeah, he starts trying to make stipulations for the game. Right?
This contest is scheduled for one fall.
No. Like not only are they playing for the conference championship, but that trophy is going to be hanging from the top.
There'll be a ladder.
Yeah, like a ladder in the middle.
Right?
Right. And it's not or it's loser leaves town. It's some kind of
dude, I like the loser leave town. Whichever team loses, they play against Rice or whoever else, and they got to leave the ACC.
Yeah, that's it. He's always suggesting these crazy stipulations and things like that.
Right.
And he's
so now. All right, so it's time to go into the conference championship game. Barricade is trying to get his team ready to go, get his defensive players ready to go. What does he tell the players when they're in the locker room and it's time to head out there?
Well, so he can't turn it off.
This is who he is. Yeah.
As they say, he's living the gimmick. Okay. Right. Yeah, this is just.
I'm sure if you saw Macho Man out on the street, he would still be like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, probably right. Just sticks right to it. Well, because especially back in the old times of wrestling, they used to have to do that stuff where the the good guys couldn't be seen with the bad guys and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, and so this guy, he's kind of.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Like, if they hated each other, they had to hate each other everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Like, yeah,
right.
they wouldn't go out to dinner together,
Right.
right? And so, yeah, he's like fully living the gimmick. And this is the most popular he's ever been now, right? Like,
Yeah, sure. He's got the whole city behind him.
Yeah, I mean, this is college football,
Yeah.
right? They're about to play for this AAC
Wolves.
yeah, the AAC championship, right? You know, you got to go into the locker room. He's got to get the defense fired up. And you know, the head coach, right? The head coach for this team, he probably didn't really want Barricade, but now they're winning, and winning, as we know, washes away all sins.
Oh yeah, hey, I
right?
looked it up. Temple is in the AAC.
They
Good job,
are.
us.
What's
And
the name of
they're-
their stadium? What do they
I
play?
think they play in the actual the Philadelphia Eagles Stadium.
Do they?
But I will
Veterans
find out.
Stadium?
Yeah,
No, I don't
Lincoln
even think they
Financial,
played.
it's
Lincoln
called now.
Financial,
Yeah.
is that where they play?
Yeah, and they're currently in 11th place in the AAC.
So they're not
so
doing
they
so
got
well.
room to grow.
Yeah, so they could probably use Barricade.
Yeah,
That's what you're
exactly.
telling
All
me.
right, so we're getting back to
So anybody
the
with
locker
a Temple dynasty out there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, this is
add
your-
this dude in.
Yeah, you got to get
And-
this guy Barricade on the
right.
squad
And
there.
Mike Ware, we hope you're enjoying your story. We
Yeah.
hope to see word of Barricade
Yeah.
taking the job at
So
Temple.
okay, so
All right.
he's gonna go into the locker room,
Right.
And and this is big. This is like WrestleMania. This is
This is
like
their WrestleMania.
yeah, this
Right.
is it, right?
Yeah, this is bigger than the Bahamas Bowl that they'll
Yeah.
wind up going to if they win.
right. So so they're gonna go in there, right? And he's got to get the team fired up, right? And this time though, right? Barricade, sometimes he's like cold and deliberate. Other times though, he's like a little bit, unhinged. So
Okay.
to say, right?
So less Jake the Snake and more like Macho Man or like
Maybe-
Ultimate Warrior.
maybe like fired up Dusty Rhodes.
Okay.
Right?
I can't wait.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's like, baby,
Oh God. Yeah.
when the team comes, as they say, to Lincoln Financial Field to play the Temple Owls,
Yeah, coach.
they are not just going to play the Owls. They are going to play all of our fans out there because, baby,
Yes, coach.
when we bleed the same blood. We bleed the same blood and the same mud. And today, baby, at Lincoln Financial Field,
Yes, coach.
we are going to win that AAC championship game. And we are taking the belt back home, baby. And it'd be more like
Yes,
that.
coach.
Yeah, it'd be more like that. Right? Yeah, then he'd go
Dude,
out there and he'd
that's
go
fucking
crazy.
great.
Right?
That is awesome.
And I'm a little lightheaded.
Oh,
So,
dude. Yeah.
So-
It makes you wonder how Dusty Rhodes pulled
yeah,
it off.
but probably cocaine.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was the secret back
Yeah,
then.
so yeah, they probably did a lot of coke.
dude.
So
And then after that, sky's the limit.
yeah, and so
dude,
the
that's
story of Barricade
Yeah.
as this professional wrestler,
Right.
like in through this dynasty,
Right.
dude, it's got so much potential.
It does. Again, with
Right.
all the special guests who can come in,
Yeah.
every time he's going to give a speech,
Sure,
it
he's
can
gonna
be
cut a
the
promo.
magic happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for the deeper story, like the subtext, to make a real story out of it.
Dude, I got it, man.
Okay, go ahead. You take
I got
it.
it.
Okay.
Right, so, right, the president of the university is a woman,
Okay.
right, and her husband loves professional wrestling
Nice.
and loves Barricade. But it
like
helped,
maybe he's part of the reason that Barry got the job
yeah,
in the first
maybe,
place.
right?
Yeah.
But right,
oh, baby, you have to
She
hire him, please.
really resents pro wrestling because
Okay.
that's what the husband does. He watches pro wrestling. and
Oh,
shit like
right,
that,
right.
right. So
Instead of cleaning out the garage.
sure, right, yeah, he's like occupied. He's not really present, so to speak,
Right.
right? And so she fucking hates Barricade, right?
Okay.
Yeah, she fucking hates him in a
Yeah.
way that few people hate anything. But, she's kind of hemmed in here, right? Because the program's winning.
Right. And they're
Right?
getting more
And,
boosters.
dude, everything is going, man. They're
all this
rolling.
publicity.
Not in 11th
Because, dude,
place now.
Before Barricade, you would never see the press conference for the Temple Owls as the lead story on SportsCenter.
No, or anywhere for that
Yeah,
matter, right?
But now
Yeah.
they cannot get enough.
Yeah, I
of
mean,
it.
like he's
Yeah.
outrageous. Yeah, he's a personality,
Right.
So he brings it, right? And so and he does the kind of things that like pro wrestlers do to promote themselves, but now he's doing it for the Owls.
Okay.
But dude, she still resents him.
Yeah.
Right? Like she resents him because really she resents everything that's fun. Like most of them. Yeah.
Are we still talking about the
maybe.
dean?
Right. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
So anyway, right? So for the longer story, right? There's this kind of like push pull where she wants the success, but she wants to control him.
Okay.
Right? But dude, he's Barricade. Man.
Yeah. Nobody controls Barricade.
There ain't no controlling that guy.
That's right.
Right. And so anyway, right? So that's your story. It's like she's kind of trying to like
She's the antagonist.
sabotage him. Right? She thinks, well, now that we're good,
Right.
I can get anybody in here.
Right.
Right.
She can keep the momentum going just from the wins.
Yeah. Right. And so she wants to get rid of him, and so she's gonna be like the antagonist in this story, of constantly just fucking with him.
Okay.
Right. As a way to like try to get him to quit, try to get him out of there, so she could bring in now her own guy. Right, and start really spending some money.
Okay.
Right. And replace him.
Right.
Before he becomes too powerful, because they're with all this success, and the defense is leading the way.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's like they call it like the barricade defense or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
The roadblock or you name it. Right.
Yeah. Oh, the roadblock's good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so. They hit him with the detour. I could go on forever, right?
Right.
And so yeah, but she really hates him, right? And so she's trying to get rid of him. And so Barricade, he's kind of oblivious, right? Like me, right? Yeah. And so he doesn't really kind of catch on until it's almost not too late, but like he really catches wind that she's out to get him, right? And this is where. Right? He's going to have the face turn. Right?
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to cease to be like the heel of the story.
Yeah, because when you're the heel, if you want to make that turn, you just need a bigger heel.
Yeah, you just need a bigger heel.
Right.
And so she will become the bigger heel in the story.
Right.
Which allows him to turn face, which, because most of the time, he'll just kind of shit on everything.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Because he's the heel.
Yeah.
Like, including, like, the fans. Like, he doesn't, like, send the love back.
Right.
Right?
Because he's in this character.
Yeah, because he's just in this character. And this will be, like, this organic face turn.
Well, I want to sneak in a B story here.
Okay,
because this is our main plot. But there's this B plot that says that Barricade, like, it's kind of like a Zool situation where there is no Barry anymore. There is only Barricade. And he's kind of forgotten like who he is as a person. That he's now the persona's taken over his life.
Like I said, he's living the gimmick.
He's living the gimmick. Yeah, exactly. And so he has to kind of rediscover himself.
Sure.
And who he is. And that's also part of his face turn.
Yeah.
Is when he realizes, like, oh, there is more to me than just this gimmick.
He can start accepting love into his heart.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
The love
that's
of
exactly
the fans
right.
is what's going to turn him around.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he'll be the face.
Yeah. And dude, the best part.
Yeah.
I just
Could
thought
you do
of
a
this.
face promo
I
when he
know.
turns face?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're not as fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just thought about this.
Okay.
Right? As part of the thing is like how the fans bring signs.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Just like at wrestling.
Yeah, that'd be one of the things
course,
in the crowd is the fans bring the signs.
Right.
So, all right, man. Dude, I think we're on to something here.
Yeah, dude, another successful story. So
I may have another series coming.
Dude.
Yeah. if my guy Mike Ware here doesn't pick up the ball,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to pick it up for him.
Thank you, Mike, for sending that in. And if you have a character that you want to send in for us to try,
sure.
Send it to our new email, which is reachballsdeep@gmail.com. You can also send us inquiries about whatever you want to become a sponsor, something like that. reachballsdeep@gmail.com.
Okay, speaking of our sponsors, Alan, who is this week's sponsor?
This week's sponsor is Bukkake's Japanese Biscuits and Breakfast. This week's sponsor features traditional Japanese foods like tamagoyaki, onigiri, gohan, yakizakana, and more. And everything comes with a generous helping of our signature gravy, guaranteed to get all over your face. Bukkake's Japanese Biscuits and Breakfast is so good, we know you'll come again and again.
You think that place passes like the health department standards?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It always smells a little musty in there. Just a little bit.
All right, everybody. For Alan Gigax, for Anthony Scafacci, that is another episode of Balls Deep. Thank you, everybody. We're out.